Okay, guys, I hope you people are doing well. First of all, thank you very much for joining in. It's good to see you people in here. Before I go on to discuss anything, because the agenda for the session of today was that it had to be an SBR AFM how to pass session. Um, I could actually see from the names of the students who have actually joined in is that majority of you are already studying with me. So instead of actually going through this specific thing of discussing, I mean, like me starting off or me taking off the leads, I would want you people to actually start sharing what your progress is right now. And then I'm actually going to take things forward. So basically, it's the AFM how to pass session. That's what we are looking for. And what I would actually want to see is that I would want to see you people contributing in, you people actually sharing in that what is your current status, what are the things that you are looking at, and how is the preparation going, things like that. So that's what I would like to hear from you people. So let's just start off. First of all, if I could actually start off and call out your names before I go on to discuss things on my own. So कौन सी चाहिए हाँ ये दे दो ये ग्रे दे दो अच्छा okay, sorry guys. Okay, so basically before I go on to discuss things on my own, I would like to know from you people, and I would like to hear from you people. I've got in front of me Masaki. Brenda, if you could actually share your current status, if you could please let me know that what is your existing status with respect to AFM. That have you attempted it earlier? That's the very important thing that I want to know. That's the first thing. The second thing that I would want to know is that what exams are you actually looking for in the September session, and how are you preparing? So that's what I would want to know. You could unmute yourself also, plus you could write down whatever that suits you. So Brenda, if I could actually get to hear from you, please. Yeah, Brenda. Yeah, Brenda, can I actually get to hear from you, please? Okay, no worries. I mean, I'm not able to see anything from Brenda till now. Okay, Hussein, if I could actually hear from you, Hussein, can you just, if you would want to unmute, you can unmute. If you don't want to unmute, you can even write down on the chat also. So if you could just let me know, what's your current status with respect?
Assalamualaikum, sir. Sir, this is my last paper AFM. Recently passed ATX.
Okay.
And I'm preparing for not for September. Basically, I'm preparing for December. But
Okay.
I'm attending your session to know that what are the core topics, so I can focus more in December and get good marks.
Okay, lovely. And are you studying from somewhere right now?
Sir, I haven't started yet.
Okay.
I'm just planning because the result came out on Monday. So I haven't decided so far.
Okay, lovely. So I'll just share the core areas of the syllabus. Don't worry about them. And I'll just let you know that what they are. But let me just have a quick conversation with other students also, so that then I could jump onto them. Okay, I've got Rotendo. I think we have spoken earlier. Is that so?
Not yet. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Okay, thanks. Currently, I'm working on the videos, and I've done the advanced investment appraisal. So today I'm starting on major valuation videos, and
Okay.
I've games like the questions in Kaplan for advanced investment appraisal. I think I'm left with 2 or 3.
Mhm. So how is the progress? I mean, like, are you getting to understand things or are you struggling somewhere?
As from now, I think I'm catching up. Yeah,
Mhm,
I
mhm,
I haven't found out it yet.
mhm. Okay, so basically, if I could, let me just see if I could just open it up. Let's see. Just a second, please. Okay, I've got in front of me this is specific AFM course that's being taught by myself. And I'm just gonna zoom in. So basically, you could see that if I could just confirm that you are confirming to me that you have gone through this chapter number 5, which is the investment appraisal advanced, and that you have almost gone through all the questions. So like probably you're left with these 2 questions, this question, lecture 12 and lecture 13. Is that so?
Yeah, I'm left with Burang, Calvin, Salam, and the other one, the last one.
Mm-hmm. Telem company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are you having any problems, any areas that you are struggling with?
Um, Not yet. I'm still digesting it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I mean, like, just in case if you keep, because if you keep on getting any questions, just keep on asking them. Because if you don't ask, then ultimately the problem would stay at the same place. So just keep asking the questions in case if you come across any questions.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Lovely. Okay, next I have got, whom do I have? I've got Khadija Hassan Naqvi. Khadija, I think we have spoken earlier also. And I think I remember that you told me that you're coming from a university background where you got the exemptions.
Yes,
So that's how it is, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, so how's the progress?
Sir, I did end up looking up at the CBE example you told me to. So that thing is off my mind now, and
Mhm,
I'm quite relaxed.
mhm,
As for the topics, I do have a 9 to 5 job, so my pace is quite slow when it comes to completing the chapters and stuff. But
mhm.
yes, I try to keep up with all the chapters and all the lectures, and up till now I do not have the lack of understanding thing. I do keep up with the lectures, and yes, that's about it.
Okay, so till what topic are you right now?
I'm on 3A bonds, yields, and bonds valuation.
Okay, so is it actually bothering you somewhere, this bond yields, bond valuation?
No, sir.
Okay, basically, I could see that your pace is a bit slow, but I'll just come on to a few things which I could actually suggest to you because ultimately we are now 45 days away from the examination. So obviously there has to be a plan, there has to be a way that you should try to cover up majority of the lectures because ultimately there has to be in like the complete coverage of the course. That's essential, that's important. So I'll just let you know, don't worry about it. I'll just guide you that what to do, what not to do, right? um okay. Then I have got, whom do I have now? Khadija, thank you for that. Okay, I have got Yuan Jose Adelaide. I'm really sorry. I think we have spoken earlier, but I always end up messing up the first name of yours. So Adelaide is what I can pronounce very easily because that's probably what Australian, one of the Australian cities is. If we could have a conversation, Adelaide, please.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, lady.
Okay, thank you. Now I am at mergers and acquisition.
Uh-huh.
Everything is going well,
Mm-hmm.
but the only problem that I'm facing is theories. There are very so many.
Which
So
one?
I would
Queries.
theory.
Theory. Okay, theories, right?
Yes, yeah. I would like to
Okay.
get advice from you, how we can master those theories, because the problem is that uh, we are almost focusing on calculation more than theories, and yet more theories are also very important. So
Okay,
I
I
would
I
like,
get your concern, and your concern is quite valid, and I'll just come back with a feed solution for that, because I already
okay,
have something planned for that theoretical aspect.
okay, thank you very much.
You're lovely. Thank you. Okay. Whom do I have? Usman Salim. I think Usman, you probably joined in and then you left and then you are back again now. So Usman, how are you doing?
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah.
Well, so how is the progress with respect to the preparations?
Right now it seems good, and I am doing investment appraisal advance
Mm-hmm.
and practice questions. So right now it's fine.
Okay. So I mean, like, are you a full-time student or what?
No, I'm not a full-time student.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a job in one of the audit firms.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
meanwhile, I'm completing my ACCA exams.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I get your point. Okay, so basically, thanks, Usman. But I mean, like, do you have, I mean, like, I hope the lectures are clear to you. And when you go through the lectures, you get to have a good understanding of the topic. That's what I'm assuming.
Yes, right now it seems good. But from today, I am going to practicing more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thanks about this, Usman. Let me just actually take you people through, because the agenda of the session of today was basically how to pass the AFM, and I had to discuss few important things with respect to what should be the 45-day plan for covering the AFM course. So that's what I would be focusing upon right now. And I know that few of you are already on to some part of the lectures already. So that's what I'm actually going to discuss few things now. See, first of all, for every one of you, you need to understand this thing, that when we talk about the AFM, the core areas of the AFM syllabus. The core areas of the AFM syllabus, which every one of you should actually go through, is that is the investment appraisal. Then the second thing is that there is the mergers and acquisitions. Third is that restructuring and reconstruction. Fourth one of them is advanced risk management. Now just try to understand few things. So you've got the investment appraisal, you've got the mergers and acquisitions, you've got the restructuring and reconstruction, and then you have got the advanced risk management. These are the four areas. Now, for each one of these areas, I will have a bit of a discussion that what are the things that need to be covered up with respect to these things. Now, first of all, with respect to this investment appraisal, it is the advanced investment appraisal that is part and parcel of the course. I mean, obviously, a lot of things are important, but there are few things which are very important. And what are those few things which are very important? Number one of them is there is a technique which is called adjusted present value technique, which is the APV technique. The second thing is that there is another area which is called free cash flows. The free cash flows, I have actually, the way I have designed my lecture on the portal, I've made it to look like a separate topic, but this is actually part and parcel of the investment appraisal. Then there is this international investment appraisal. And lastly, there is an area which is called Black-Scholes option pricing model. So you've got the APV, the adjusted present value, you've got the free cash flows, you've got the international investment appraisal, the Black-Scholes option pricing model. These are the things that you have got with respect to the advanced investment appraisal area. Now, to guide you people a bit further, you would actually know this thing that this APV technique is the most frequently examined area with respect to the investment appraisal. And when we talk about the APV, there is actually the application of bond yields that is also there. There's an actually application of weighted average cost of capital that is also part and parcel of this. So these are the two things that actually have an impact on it. The second thing is that there is a topic called free cash flows, and this specific technique would ultimately be used in the next technique, which is the mergers and acquisition. So mergers and acquisition, there is a lot of use of this free cash flow technique. For the international investment appraisal, could actually be considered to be a separate isolated topic where there is a small usage of the international transfer pricing rules also. That is also part and parcel of it. And lastly, the Black-Scholes option pricing model. This is now become a very simplified area because now the examiner, they actually introduce a BSOP calculator. So all that you have to do with respect to the Black-Scholes option pricing model is that you have to just learn few things, that how to define the variables in the given scenario. And then you could just put in the value of the variables and get a result out of it. Because earlier, I mean, like 2 attempts back, it used to be a very difficult area to handle, but now, alhamdulillah, it has become a very simple area. So when I talk about the advanced investment appraisal, these are the 4 major areas that should actually be covered up with respect to the advanced investment appraisal. If I move a bit forward and if I talk about the next area, so I would say the next area is about restructuring and reconstruction. And when we talk about the restructuring and reconstruction, so obviously there are multiple techniques that are there, but again, the bond yields, bond valuation, weighted average cost of capital, free cash flows to firm, free cash flows to equity. I mean, like, which is this again, the free cash flows that I mentioned in here, it's also examined in here. So these are the very important areas, plus some add-on techniques, which is going to be some concepts that is important with respect to it. So when you talk about the reconstruction and restructuring, again, the 4 things that are going to be deciding that how you get marks, which is going to be bond yields, bond valuation, the WACC, the free cash flows to firm, free cash flows to equity, and the concepts, some concepts that are actually going to be deciding factor. Then if I move forward and if I talk about the mergers and acquisitions, so mergers and acquisition is again an area where you have got the different valuation techniques that are going to be used. And what are the things that are going to be used with respect to those valuation techniques? So you've got the asset-based valuation, which is relatively a simple valuation method. You've got the income-based valuation method, which is again a relatively simple valuation method. And the third one of them is a cash flow-based valuation method. So from the examination perspective, this cash flow-based valuation method would include multiple things, including the technique of free cash flows. Plus, there is going to be the usage of the WACC. There is going to be the usage of the bond yields concept, because ultimately we measure the value of the business on the basis of present value of future cash flows. And when we measure the value of the business using the present value of future cash flows, so that means the cash flow calculation and then discounting those cash flows, these are the important aspects. You get my point? cash flow calculations and then discounting those cash flows. These are the important aspects which we should know. So basically, what we are going to be doing is that we'll be talking about the asset base, we'll be talking about the income base, and plus the most important, the cash flow based valuation methods. And those cash flow based valuation methods would include the free cash flows, the WACC, the bond yield, etc., etc. That's what they're going to measure. And lastly, we have got the advanced risk management area. For the advanced risk management area, what do we have? We have got two things. What are those two things with respect to advanced risk management? One of the things that is going to be there with respect to advanced risk management is that you have got currency risk management, you have got interest rate risk management. So when I talk about the currency risk management and the interest rate risk management, what is actually going to happen is that just try to understand something. What is probably going to happen is that the currency risk management, there are those forwards, swaps, etc., things. But the important aspects is that the currency options, again, with respect to interest rate is also the interest rate options, the currency futures, the interest rate futures, plus at the same time, the currency swaps, the interest rate swaps. So these are the more important areas because they are examined on a more frequent basis. They're examined on a more regular basis. That is something that you would actually be getting, right? So as a student, what you should do is that you should focus, you should go about with these areas, right? You should focus about those important areas of the syllabus if you want to progress, if you want to go about it. Now, if I could just go back to all that I have discussed, the one important thing that you would figure out from every single aspect is that one important thing that you would figure out from every single aspect is that there is importance of the weighted average cost of capital. There is an importance of the bond yields and the bond valuations. And then there is basically, just a second, please. Okay, so WACC, the bond yields, and then what happens is that the cash flows, which is basically free cash flows, right? The cash flows, which is basically the free cash flows. That's what you would have to do. Now, just try to understand something. So I'm just telling you WACC, bond yields, cash flows, which is again the free cash flows. They are the core areas of the syllabus because what happens is that these topics are going to get you marks when you go about doing the reconstruction question, when you go about doing the merger and acquisition question, and also when you go about doing the advanced investment appraisal question. A lot of students, when they attempt the AFM, they actually struggle to derive the discount rate. They actually struggle to derive the cost of capital. So just a very important aspect is that this is the key area. This is the core area. So you should be spending a lot of time doing this area, practicing this area, because ultimately when you would practice in this area is going to give you a confidence into the other aspects of the syllabus also. Because you see, if there is a 40-mark question, the 40-mark question would have like maybe 10 mark, 15 mark, 12 marks pertaining to the cost of capital calculation. And then what happens is that the remaining marks is for the application of it. So like if the brakes are being put to you because you are not able to do the cash flow calculation or you're not able to do the WACC calculation, then ultimately it would become a very difficult thing for you to do, right? So it's very important that you actually go about just a second, please. Just a second. यार, हारिस है था? Nawaz? आरिस या नवाज वगैरह को नीचे बोलना सामान लेना. Sorry about it, please. Now, anyways, so let me just talk about it. Let me just discuss. So basically what happens is that, you see, you're talking about reconstruction, you're talking about reorganization, you're talking about mergers, acquisitions, you're talking about the investment appraisal. Every single thing, ultimately, what is going to happen is that you would have what? You would have this WACC, the bond yields, bond valuations, the cash flows. They're all going to impact the calculations, right? They're all going to impact the calculations. Now, let's try to understand. So basically, as a student, what you should do is that you should try to master these. As a student, what you should do is that you should try to master these areas, because if you're going to master these areas, this is ultimately going to help you out, right? This is ultimately going to help you out. Now, let's try to discuss further. Let's try to take things forward. A very important aspect of the syllabus is that, I repeat, a very important aspect of the syllabus is that a lot of students, and which one of the students amongst you was also saying, which was the theoretical aspect. Generally speaking, what happens is that approximately, like the examination pattern is like this. You've got question number 1, which is of 50 marks. Question number 2, which is of 25 marks. Question number 3, which is of 25 marks. Out of these 50 marks, 10 marks are professional marks. Out of these 25 marks, 5 marks are professional marks. Out of these 25 marks, 5 marks are professional marks. So that means 40 marks are for the technical, these 20 marks, these 20 marks. 80 marks are technical, 20 marks are professional. Now, what are these professional marks? These professional marks are based on the 4 professional skills that the ACCA has defined. And those 4 professional skills are based upon the communication skills. Those 4 professional skills are based upon your skepticism, your analysis and evaluation, and the last one of them is your commercial acumen, right? So it's communication, skepticism, analysis and evaluation, and then commercial acumen. That's what the professional marks are based upon. Now, a lot of students at this stage, they get worried that how would we get the professional marks? So you don't have to worry about it. You will get the professional marks, but first of all, let's just focus upon, first of all, let's just focus upon the technical marks, the 80 marks, the 20 marks can be earned if you are good at 80 marks. So out of those 80 marks, what is actually going to happen is that when you would come across in the examination, you would see that 40 to 45 marks are based upon the computation, and this 35 to 40 marks are based upon the theory. Now, a lot of students, they fail the paper because of this theoretical aspect. They actually don't have the preparations for the theoretical aspects. That's where they fail. So I repeat, a lot of students, what happens with them is that they fail because there is a problem. There is a problem. They don't know how to address the theoretical aspects of the examination. They don't know how to address the theoretical aspects of the syllabus. You get my point? Now, just try to understand this. So basically, as a student, how would you go about preparing these theoretical aspects? That's what I am going to advise you, and that's what I'm going to tell you. Now, when it comes to the theory portion also, the theory portion, you could see that there are 2 things. What are those 2 things with respect to the theory portion? With respect to the theory portion, one of the aspect is that, one of the aspect with respect to the theory portion is that it's basically a discussion of calculations. I mean, one of the aspect is the discussion of the calculations. So the calculations that we do, we discuss those calculations. That's one aspect. The second thing is that other generic theory. Now, what the other thing is that there is a generic theory. There is a generic theory. That's what we have to actually discuss about. Now, what is my plan and how would I be covering and how would I ensure that you people get through it? So basically what happens is that I'm actually working on compiling some answers from the past examination pertaining to the theoretical aspects that have been tested in different areas. And I'll be publishing the videos for you people that, okay, this was a past examination question where this topic was examined and this specific topic had this scenario. So this is how you will address the answer. So that's one thing that I'm actually preparing the recordings for you people. And second thing is that there are some core theoretical aspects like some knowledge aspects. So I'm also preparing the videos for you people. So Rotendo, you had a concern that how would we go about doing that? So I'm just compiling that and probably that's going to be available to you within the next 15 days. Now, one thing is that a lot of students would actually be now a lot of you people, what I could see is that some of you are going at a good pace, some of you are quite far away. So now if I say there are 8 days of July uh, that is left, there are 31 days of August that is left, and then approximately 6-7 days of September. So more or less 45 days is what you have is starting from now. Now, what should be the 45-day plan? If you are following the extensive lectures, the 45-day plan should be like this. You got to make sure that within the next 15 days, you got to make sure not within the next 15 days, you got to make sure that 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, and 7 days. Within the next 28 days, or let's say within the next 30 days, you should get over with all the topics. Advanced investment appraisal, mergers and acquisitions, the restructuring and reconstruction, then at the same time, risk management area, all of these topics, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. So roughly you can take 30 days to get over with all of them. Now, when you would go about with the advanced investment appraisal, maybe I would have solved 15 questions. Don't go through the 15 questions, go through around 12 questions, go through around 10 questions, go through around 7 questions. But just make sure that you go through them and you get over with that specific topic within the next 7 days. Then go about with merger acquisition. If I've given 15 questions, do at least 50% of it. And then what would happen is that the remaining 15 days that you would have, so you would actually go through the balance questions. I repeat, you would actually go through the balance questions within those 15 days. Let me guide you that what you would do is that you would actually go through the balance questions within those next 15 days. That is something that you would have to talk about, that you would have to focus, right? So that is something that's going to take you through. Now, what I would be doing is that I would be doing 3 live question practice sessions every week, starting from the coming week. And my target is that there are going to be, let's say 3 into 5, 15 sessions is what I'm going to be targeting up till the examination, because then we have got some mocks, and then we have got the mocks, and then we have got some ask anything sessions and things like that. So what I would actually recommend to you people is that start from now if you're doing the September attempt. And when you're doing the September attempt, start from now and take things forward in such a manner that you're able to get over with almost everything within the next 30 days. Get over with these 4 core areas of the syllabus. And obviously I'll be making the theory available, so you could just go through the theory also. So that's what is the suggestion. That's what is the recommendation for you people from starting from now till the end. So basically, that is all about myself. That is all about from my side for today. If you have got any queries, if you have got anything to ask, you're most welcome to ask. I'll be happy to answer. Yeah, in case if you have got anything to ask, you're most welcome to ask. I'll be happy to answer. I've already allowed you people that you can unmute yourself also. So just in case if you have got anything to ask, do let me know, do ask, because the more you ask, the better it is going to be for all of us. Okay, in addition to this, I'm also sharing with you people a link to the AFM. How do we calculate annuity factor? Okay, let me just guide you. Basically, first of all, you are being given the table, so you don't have to worry about it. But just in case if you are struggling with that, so let me just guide you. Just a minute, please. ACCA student hub is okay. You can use the BPP revision kit. That's also good. Okay, just in case if you're not part of this AFM community, I've shared the AFM community link. You could just be part of it, because ultimately what happens is that I would just be making sure that I'm going to be sharing things into this specific community so that it reaches them. Obviously, you will be getting it in the WhatsApp group also, but just in case if you're not part of this community, you could be part of the AFM community. Okay, I'm just going to let you know that how do we calculate the annuity. Okay, see, if you want to calculate the annuity, yes, I can share that after the session. I'll just share that. Okay. If you want to calculate the annuity, the simple formula of calculating the annuity is that you simply say minus PV and then bracket open. Then what happens is that give whatever rate, like if you need 15%, write 15%, give a comma. How many years of annuity do you need? If you need 7 years, let's say 7 years. Then give what value annuity you want. So obviously we need a $1 annuity. So just comma this, so you will end up getting 4.16. Ignore the dollar sign. 4.16 is the annuity that you would get. 4.16 is the annuity that you would get. Lovely, thank you very much. Okay, so now what we will be doing is that we'll be having the exam, we'll be having the sessions from the coming week, the schedule of which the updated schedule is going to be shared today. And that updated schedule is going to include that what topic is going to be done on what is specific date. So that's going to be shared with you. So starting from, I mean, like next week, probably Monday or Tuesdays, one of the days we will be starting with the classes. And then we'll be having the classes every alternate day. And what we would be doing is that we would be going through the different topic related questions. I'll be telling you in advance the topic that I'll be covering so that you could be prepared in advance about it. And that's what we are going to do. So thank you very much, all of you, for joining in. It was great to have you here. And we'll continue. The recordings for this session would be available on the YouTube and on the portals. And we would be making sure that the other things, the schedule, the theoretical aspects, etc., they're all going to be shared with you, inshallah, as per the plan. So thanks a lot for being here, and just continue progressing along, because you just make sure that 777 for 24, 20, 30 days for all of this. Thank you all.